And welcome to the Odyssey Hour here, episode 52, I believe it is, uh, and the first of the 2022 year. We're your hosts, obviously, the three of the Odyssey Paranormal Society teams, and then one, Miss Becky Bicknese. Did I say that right? I say your
Yep,
name wrong. Yeah, go
you
me.
said it right.
Good, because I never have to say it. Because why would I use your last name ever? So just want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. So
Well, thanks.
uh, we all hope that you guys had a wonderful holiday season. Had Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Sorry we haven't been on in a while. It's been a mixture of life and sickness and, and that has kept us off. And so we're back, hopefully. Unfortunately, Sam may or may not appear, and Haley may not be here tonight, unfortunately. But hopefully next week, everything will be back. But Becky, we're very happy to have you with us here tonight. This is
Thank
going to
you
be
for having me.
this is going to be great. So and welcome, Carol. I'm so happy to have you here on time. So hope it is worth it because it's the special holiday episode, which pretty much just means that we can ask anything holiday related or bring up something holiday related or paranormal as usual. So with that said, let's jump right into it. Who?
Happy Epiphany.
Happy Epiphany?
Yeah, tomorrow's the Feast of the Epiphany when the three kings arrived at Bethlehem.
Okay. Usually when people say epiphany, I think of some, great idea that I just had. So, or some great realization. Is that where it comes from? I'm honestly asking.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's where it comes from.
sweet. It's like they realized that he was the son of God. Is that the epiphany that they had?
Well, the Epiphany was the revelation of Jesus to the Magi. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sweet. Well, happy what Scott just said. I forgot the whole title. I just only remembered Epiphany. So, uh, would you like to go first then, Scott, since you never go first?
Um,
No.
well, I don't have a question, but I do have an answer to a question you asked me about 5 weeks ago.
All right. Better late than never. I probably don't remember the question. So,
But I couldn't think of the answer then. But
must have been a pretty
uh,
stumping question then.
well, no, the question was why do we do our investigations at night?
Oh,
Why do things seem to happen more at night than during the day when the spirits are actually just as active during the day as they are at night? And, and
okay.
I went back and did some reading again, and um, the the supposed answer to that is that uh, in science and medicine, they believe that it is possible that our all of our five senses, our physical senses, our hearing, our sight, our um, smell, everything else is more active and more attuned um, uh, and more sensitive at night than it is during the day. So we are more likely to experience things at night than we do during the day. We are able to smell things at night that we can't smell during the day. We're able to see better. We're able to hear better. Um, and so we're more likely to have those kinds of experiences at night than we would during the day.
One question.
Mm-hmm.
If it's at night, how do we see better than during the day? Because we need light to see.
Well, but our vision is more attuned so that we can see better in the dark than we would. We can actually pick out shadows and things in the dark. because our vision is more attuned, is is functioning better than it would be during the day. I don't
Gotcha.
know if
You know,
that makes sense to you.
no, it does. Especially, the other senses, because that was one of the answers that I think we always, at least I always give, is that, when you take away the sight, especially, you send out all your other senses further to try, you're more sensitive to everything else. And also we don't have that many distractions. I mean, no, nobody ever uses the joke squirrel, during, during the day or during the nighttime, because you can't see any squirrels. So, and apparently, from what I've recently been told, they don't come out at night, but that has nothing to do with squirrels. Anyway, so um, I would just took it as you said, our senses get more attuned to everything that we are doing, uh, but it kind of takes away the distractions and everything else, the noise, everything that life gives you during the day takes it out, for the most part, at night. So I'm glad that science, at least in some form, backs that up. What do you ladies think?
That makes sense to me. I'd agree with that. I mean, because like you said before, we always say like when one sense is taken away, the others heighten. So yeah, I would agree with that. That makes sense to me.
Don't worry, Becky. We'll just sit here in silence until you speak.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was making sure she was done. I agree with the senses taking one away and things like that. But and the other thing is like when we're doing it at night, like if you think about certain locations, you definitely wouldn't want to do it during the day because there's so much high traffic. There's so much all these other things. The world is moving.
Mm-hmm.
And that interferes with so much of our evidence. At night, you just don't have as much of that. So that's my thought.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, I know how often I get that question, but, since you're obviously from another team, you deal with another part of the state, do you get that question often?
I do. But a lot of times they always say, why is it at night? Because then you get more scared and stuff like that. And then I bring back with no, we do it because then there's less people out there to wreck my investigation, hopefully out at night than during the day. But then I also always bring up the point too that I've been to locations like Edinburgh Manor where when our team stayed there, we were there for 3 days straight and we investigated night, we investigated day, we around the clock and taking shifts. And we had just as much evidence from the day as we did from the at nighttime.
None.
No, we had a
Oh.
lot. I love Edinburgh Manor. It is.
I love Edinburgh too.
Going back in June.
Yeah. Still waiting for my invite, but that's okay.
I'll talk to the team.
We can pay our way. I'm not asking for some freebies. So, but yeah. Anyway, I agree. I love Edinburgh. I think I've been there like 4 times now. 3 of which have been like 2-day investigations. So I've investigated during the day as well. Not that much, as I always like other people. I let them go out and do stuff before I get involved. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever got anything there. Well, I can't say I've never gotten anything there during the day, but not during my investigations during the day. There was one EVP that was flipping insane. It went on, I think, for like 9 minutes, something like that. And I just placed a static recorder in between the time we dropped off all the equipment for the weekend and then went back to the hotel and then came back for the event. And I'd left a recorder running, and there's like some PA like and like a little girl being like, hello. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually. And I was told
you're talking about that front area in the front when you
Yeah.
first come in the door.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that back porch area, but
Oh.
not actually like on the porch, but in that room that's connected to it.
Yeah, like the family room or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
commons area.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because that when you first walk in that door to the left, which would have been the like receptionist area where somebody that would be checking people in sit, we actually picked up a very pronounced like somebody was typing, which
I never got that, but
never gotten that anywhere else.
I've never put a recorder in that room, so who knows? But yeah, like 2-3 years ago, like the very first investigation that we did, not only did we get that PA system interference thing, but there was a couple other EVPs, and there's nobody even in the building, like period. And so I thought I'd caught. I think the owner had just come in at that point in time, or had been there for like a couple minutes, but way in the distance, you could hear what sounded like a voice saying like "murderer," and I don't think it was about her, but I mean it was just there, and it was male, and she was the only female, obviously, in the place. So I agree, but my investigations have gotten zilch. But you just leave a recorder running, and they all come out.
Yeah. I was even the little safe house out back where you go to the bathroom and everything.
Yeah, where this is supposed to demon.
I hadn't heard that one.
Ugh, that's because it's a bunch of shit.
I was gonna say we slept in that building. We never left the premises for 3 days.
Yeah.
And while we were sleeping in there, we actually got a EVP of somebody say, "Kill them." So obviously somebody didn't like us. I don't know how they couldn't. I don't.
Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing. Why would they not want a bunch of? Never mind. I won't even say it.
Watch it.
Did I not refrain?
You
from
did.
saying
Good job.
Thank you. I'm evolving. So there we go. All right. Who wants to go next? Okay.
You said you have 2 really good ones, so why don't you do one of them?
I will then. All right, here we go. This should get the crowd of roaring and the creative juices flowing. So, Die Hard, a good Christmas movie or the best Christmas movie?
You have no idea how many times I have had this debate with my boyfriend. He thinks it's the greatest Christmas movie ever.
It is. I will take off the whole good or best. I just like phrasing that from when I used to watch Colbert. But the debate is going on constantly. Is it a Christmas movie? Is it not a Christmas movie? I would like everybody to take their stance.
Well, I think I watched it once when it first came out, and I don't even really remember it. So I'm out.
Such a disappointment, Becky. Why are you here again? I don't even know. Just kidding.
I'm the pretty face. Okay.
That's right. You are the Odyssey Hour eye candy here tonight. Scott, what about you? You've seen every movie known to man.
I hope not. But it's been so many years since I saw Die Hard, and I've never thought of it as a Christmas movie.
Why not?
Well, I'd have to watch it again to even remember what it's about. But I don't remember there being anything Christmassy about it.
It took place during a Christmas party.
Well,
see?
So obviously the movie wasn't that good. Me and Scott don't even remember it.
You haven't seen it for years, and you're both old. So obviously your memories are fading.
I do believe I'm the second youngest on this call.
yeah.
Well,
I think we established that a while ago.
We'll discuss that later. All right, Lauren. Well, you have this debate.
Yeah,
state your case.
I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love Bruce Willis. I think it's a great movie. I am not convinced one way or the other that it is in fact a Christmas movie or not. I don't know. Just because it happens on Christmas, it doesn't necessarily automatically make it a Christmas movie. And usually when I think of Christmas movies, I don't think of hostage situations and violence and fighting. So it's not, okay, I put it this way. A Christmas movie in my mind is something that you would watch with like your little cousins or little like nieces and nephews. I would not watch Die Hard with little kids. That's just in my mind. I equate Christmas movies to family movies. I don't think that's a family movie.
It is so a family movie.
It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I very much like it. I just don't know if it's a Christmas movie technically.
Right. Okay. So I've been thinking this over. And here's my question to all of the naysayers out there who say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Why is Die Hard not a Christmas movie, but Home Alone is? Because Home Alone is a movie about bad parenting and home invasion. That's all it is. The only thing that is separating Harry and Marv from Hans Gruber and Sven is money and a lot of weaponry and brains and planning. So, but the list goes on. But anyway, not a lot separates them except for all those things. All Home Alone does is take place during Christmas too.
There's a lot of Christmas related things that go on during Home Alone though.
So also with Die Hard, I mean, come on, you have the Christmas trees.
There's like two.
No, there's Christmas trees. There's singing. There's everybody having a good time at the company Christmas party. When Bruce Willis kills that first Swede guy, he sends him down the elevator with "Now I have a machine gun." Ho ho ho! Very Christmassy right there. All I'm saying is that Christmas goes beyond just family movies, and I'm just saying that if Home Alone can be considered a Christmas movie, so can Die Hard. They both have violence in it
to different extents, though.
Oh, I see. So it's an extent thing.
I mean, it can be gory. There's lots of blood and things that little children should not see at a young age. In my mind, but
they love it. They can get worse stuff on YouTube nowadays. The 5 is the new 20. Okay, so there we go. That's my stance. I honestly don't care either way. It's a great movie, but I love the debate. So,
is it played on Hallmark?
Nothing should ever be played.
Then it's not a Christmas movie.
No, because Hallmark
there
doesn't.
Two people that got into a fight, spread their lives apart, and then came back together to fall in love. It's not a Christmas movie.
Wait, hold on. I want to make sure I have this correctly. Did you just say two people get into an argument, spread their legs?
Life.
Oh, life. I thought you said legs, and then everybody. Okay, sorry.
This is
I honestly
to be a
thought
family show.
Is it?
I don't know.
Would you watch this with little kids?
I think my daughters watched it.
Your daughter's like 17.
Wow, she is 15.
Oh.
What is with you and aging my family?
I'm off, I guess. Sorry. Didn't mean to think that your daughter is more mature than she is.
She is. But
there you go. So
Lethal Weapon was also a Christmas movie?
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
I haven't seen Lethal Weapon in a long time, but I agree. If Home Alone, Die Hard, and Lethal Weapon all take place at Christmas, people say Merry Christmas all the time in all the movies. So it's a Christmas movie. I think maybe that should be like the only standard of a Christmas movie. If the word Merry Christmas or the phrase Merry Christmas gets said, it's a Christmas movie. But like a rated R Christmas movie. So, anyways, Becky, why don't you give one of your first questions then?
Do you want a holiday or a paranormal?
Your call.
Okay, let's keep going with the holiday. Is there a set date that you should put up your Christmas decorations and take them down? Or is it all by spirit? Well, how do you feel?
Okay, I'll go.
Sorry, I'm thinking here.
So typically, growing up, it was always, I guess just it wasn't called that back then, but it is now. Black Friday. The weekend after Thanksgiving, the Christmas tree went up. That is supposed to be the start of the Christmas season, not the week after Halloween. But the weekend after Thanksgiving. However, now that I'm older and don't have the ma pa, the family stuff, it's mostly been the spirit of it. Okay, it's past Thanksgiving. I have this day free. I got a good night's sleep. I got the energy. I'll put up the tree. Plus, up until these last 2 years, because of COVID, I always had my feast the second December of every year for the past 10 years previous. So I always had my tree up at least by then. But typically, anytime as the spirit moves you after Thanksgiving, I think you can go ahead and throw up the tree. Now, if we're talking about outside lights, whenever it's still warm up here. People will do it a week before Thanksgiving if it's still in the 50s and they see in the weather that it's going to drop down to like 10. So outside lights, anytime that you want, leave them up all year round. But the tree itself inside, anytime after Thanksgiving.
I'm trying to think. I don't really think we had like a set date. It was always before Thanksgiving, but we have a reason. So in my family, we have our party. We have a very large party for our family. And we would have to make sure that all of the decorations everywhere in the house were up. So getting ready for like 45 very hungry people to come over on Christmas Eve and getting ready for that, and then also doing the decorations on top of that, we had so much to do in such a short amount of time that if we started after Thanksgiving, not everything would get done. So therefore, we started before Thanksgiving to get the decorating out of the way. So we had prioritized, so decorations got pushed a little earlier. Taking them down, isn't there some Christian tradition where you leave it up 14 days after? Scott, do you know of that? Or is that just something I heard randomly?
It's 12. That's
12.
Tomorrow is the 12th day of Christmas. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we usually wait 12 to 14 days, whatever. We usually wait a few weeks after. Take them down.
Did you know, not to throw the topic off at all, but did you know that if you add up the 12 days of Christmas, but like all of them, like 1 + 2 + 3, and then but it's like 1 + 2, then 1 + 2 + if you just keep adding them up, for every single day, it equals 365, which is supposed to account for a gift every day of the year.
Learned something new today. Thank you.
Did not know that.
There you go. This is a educational show, family show, rated R show, and educational all in one.
Get the whole 9 yards there.
That's right. Welcome to the Odyssey Hour, people. So, Becky or Scott, what about you?
Well, when I was a kid, we got the tree up for Thanksgiving, and we took it down January 6th, the Feast of the Epiphany, the Three Kings. Now, my tree and my manger are up every day of the year. I never take them down.
Nope.
My
No,
lights,
you don't.
you can see the lights behind me on the tree. Those lights will be on until they burn out. It'll probably be May or June.
Is that your estimate?
What?
Is that your estimate? May or June, that tree will be
what it
out cold?
usually is. That's what it usually is. They usually burn out in May or June.
And you never turn them off?
The only time I turn them off is if I'm going to be out of town for a few days.
Interesting. Well, the Christmas season is alive and bright in your house.
Yeah, it's always Christmas here.
Until May or June, and then it's just a green looking tree with dead bulbs on it.
Yeah.
Sweet. That is what the Christmas season is all about. Becky, what about you?
I guess for me, when my kids were little, my oldest daughter was with my ex-husband, so moving her back and forth between the two houses and stuff. To me, it was more important that we were together putting it up than the specific date. So if she was home, that's when we did it. We generally tried to do the weekend after Thanksgiving, but I just love Christmas, and I love Christmas decorations, and they make my eyes happy. So I would put them up on my birthday if people wouldn't give me crap, which is November 10th. And I still haven't taken them down. People keep asking, oh, did you get your Christmas decorations down? No, I just put them up. I feel like.
Well, excellent.
I say when the spirit moves you, put them up.
That's right. Pretty much. So, unless you want to be Christmassy all year round and then you just never take them down. I mean, don't confuse that with laziness, which I think some people might. It's just, I'm in a Christmas mood all year round.
And in my case, with the tree, I have no place to put it if I take it down. So it's got a spot, and that's where it stays.
Well, do you change the ornaments for different holidays?
All I have is lights on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't put ornaments on it.
Gotcha.
Would you put ornaments on it?
I do have a couple of ornaments on it. They're angel wings that go with my angel collection. But
Yes.
that's all that's on there.
Maybe we should get you some ornaments, like some more ornaments.
I have some, but they're out in a box out in the shed behind the house, and I never go out there.
Which means chances are, rodents and stuff have probably eaten them.
Which is probably why I don't go out there.
That's probably a good call.
I'd have to fight my way through the spider webs to get to them.
Just take a can of Raid. That's all you need.
Yeah, it'd be like the scene in Indiana Jones where he's rushing the tarantulas off.
I could see you with a whip. Just whoosh. Just, taking out those spiders and those webs. I could see that. Obviously you can't, but all right, Lauren, you're up.
Okay, so I just thought of a holiday question when you briefly mentioned Home Alone. So there is, and I want to see what y'all think of this or if you've heard of this. There is like it's not a conspiracy theory, but it's like along those lines that Kevin McAllister's dad, because it's never revealed in the movies what he does for a living to afford sending the whole family overseas and have this like massive house and everything like that. So there is a theory that he is actually a mafia don. and there's apparently a lot of signs that point to that, and then nothing that points away from that. So I've heard a lot of people say, oh, that's exactly what he is. That's what he is. That's just what it is. And I'm like, I don't think that's true, but I just wanted to see what y'all's thoughts were. What do you think Kevin McAllister's dad does for a living? Do you think he's a mafia don? It's a possibility. Who knows?
I never thought about the movie that hard to think about it. So I don't
Right?
know.
But then once you think of it, you're like, I can't unsee it.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So here's my question then. What are the
Indicators.
signs, the indicators that point to him being a mafia don? Because he doesn't have a big role in the movie.
Exactly. So there's the big one is the money, because everybody's like, what the hell does he do to afford all of this? The second one, I think the big one, there's like tons of Reddit threads on this. So if you want to dive into it, if you're looking for a good deep dive, would recommend. If you have time. I think the second one, what was it? It was like the cops know exactly, like cops are connected to his house in some way or something like that. There's a whole lot of things. I have not dived into it recently, but there's a few indicators that apparently he's a mafia don.
From Chicago.
Yes.
Because
I'm sorry.
He has
I'm
a
sorry.
nice house.
I'm sorry. Do you not think that the mafia is a big thing in Chicago?
Oh no, I definitely think that the mafia is pretty big in Chicago.
It's a big thing. Not the Irish mob though. That's more Irish though. I don't know. Anyway, it's a deep dive. There are many conspiracy theories about Christmas movies. It's really interesting though.
No, it's not.
I find it interesting.
So,
I think it's fun.
Because he has money in Chicago.
And it's never revealed what he does. Exactly what
Because
he does.
it's not important to the movie. You don't know what the mom does. You don't know what Uncle Frank does. You don't know
But okay.
what
Think of
Buzz's
it this way,
GPA is. I mean, you don't know a lot of shit about the family because they don't have a role in it.
So think of it this way. If people don't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, you know, the Christmas party doesn't actually play that much of a role in the movie. It's just a gathering of people. There's nothing related anywhere else in the movie, really, aside from when they say Merry Christmas and ho,
And ho, ho, ho. There you go.
That's it.
That's two right there.
That's not enough.
Right off the top of my head.
That's not enough.
But that's enough to call Kevin McAllister's dad a mafia don.
There's nothing to say that he isn't, though.
There's nothing to say that he's not a circus clown that won the lottery.
I just think it's a fun deep dive. People have too much time on their hands, and it's entertaining to me.
Oh, well, you should have just said that.
Well, there you go.
I think if he was a mafia don, that house would have been at least 3 to 5 times bigger.
Not only that, but it would be a hell of a lot more guarded than just Kevin McAllister and his micro machines and paint canisters. I mean, he would have had Uzis to defend the house instead of a BB gun. There's nothing at all. People are making shit up just to make shit up.
I think it's fun.
Well, yeah, if you're the one making it up, sure.
I didn't make it up.
I know. I didn't say that you did. I was just saying it's fun if you're the one that's making up all kinds of stuff. Like I could probably make up a conspiracy theory that they met in a brothel, Mr. and Mrs. McAllister. But there's no signs to it, nor should there be.
I just think it's a fun fact.
It's not a fact. It's a conspiracy theory.
It's a fact that people made up on the internet.
Okay, that is definitely a fact.
I have an actual question, though.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Not holiday one, but if you're done ranting.
I'm done ranting.
Okay. Okay, so non-holiday question, back to our usual topics. I want to talk about shadow people because I find them very interesting and we haven't talked about them recently. So I know we've kind of briefly gone over what they are and like what you do with that or how to get rid of them if you do want to get rid of them. do you believe that shadow people are inherently negative, or can there be a more positive shadow person? Or is that just not possible based on what we believe that they are?
I go last, so don't look at me.
Go ahead, Scott.
I believe that there's nothing in the dark that isn't also there in the light. And I don't see that shadow people are necessarily negative or evil. It's I mean, if they exist, they probably have the same variations among them that we have among us. Some of us are good, some of us are bad, some of us are evil. So it's probably the same with them. There are some good, some bad, some not so good, some neutral, some don't give a crap about us one way or the other. Some of them are maybe just curious and looking at us to see, what kind of crazy people we are. So I think if they actually exist, then there's probably a wide variety of types among them. That's what I think.
Baxter.
Okay, my beliefs are different. I don't think shadow people are anything that were from this realm. I think they are something that are evil, and I do not mess with them. I feel like they're something that are sent here to actually cause destruction and harm. That's my opinion.
All right. So this is something I've obviously dived into many, many times before. So I think the first thing that needs to be kind of pointed out and separated is the difference between shadow people and a shadow person. Shadow people are, the shadows people see on the walls. They're, partially manifested, just regular spirits, that they just show up as shadows. Those are inherently just like any other spirit. Some are good, some are bad. They are who they were. A shadow person is different. I agree with you, Becky. I think a shadow person is an interdimensional being that is, for all intents and purposes, dark, evil. They don't like us. They don't care about us. They do their own thing. You also can't get rid of them. Shadow people, you can, just like normal sage, cleansings, whatever, like a normal spirit can get rid of. A shadow person, you can't get rid of them. So if you end up having a shadow person in your house, if that is the diagnosis for whatever team, medium, whatever you bring in to find out what's going on, you either are going to have to live with it or you're going to have to move. They don't particularly attach themselves to people. It'll just be like, this is my territory. You leave it. I don't care. I'll just go off whoever comes in. But I do believe that they are interdimensional. I do believe that they mean to cause us harm. Thankfully, they're a lot rarer than I think people think. There's obviously the story of the Hat Man, who we've talked about many times. I've talked about it many times on this show and the Odyssey Files. But he's kind of like the leader, I guess you could call him, of the shadow persons. I don't want to say shadow people because then people, again, confuse the two. So I'll just say persons, even though that's the wrong term. But that's my theory on them. You need to be very, very careful as to how you differentiate the two. But if you have a shadow person, the best you can do is run.
Because in your research, when it comes to shadow persons, isn't there generally more than one in the location?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
There can be, absolutely. There are a lot of stories, claims, however you want to phrase them. You know, especially in like the Hammond Research Center, research page or whatever on Facebook, but of people waking up and having multiple ones over their bed. But for whatever reason, you say the name Jesus Christ or something along those lines, and poof, out the door they go. Why, is anybody's guess, especially since they're not from around here. But yeah, they can, but not always. Yeah, that's my answer on that one. What about you, Lauren?
I do think from what I've heard about a shadow person, they are very territorial and they like their space and they don't like anybody intruding on that space. So I do, for that reason, I don't know if all of them have negative intentions or they're just annoyed that people are in their space and they just rather get them out. So I don't, that's why I asked the question. Is I know there's still a lot of questions surrounding what they are, what their intentions are, obviously, and everything like that. So I don't know. I think they're very interesting. I don't know if I want to come across one. A little intimidating there. But yeah, I think it's really interesting, especially because, like Mikey brought up, you typically cannot remove them, which is definitely a different spin on things than what we as paranormal investigators usually come in contact with. Is there's usually some way you can create space between the living and the dead, whether that is completely removing an entity from a home or just laying down boundaries. With these entities that we're talking about, it sounds like that really isn't the case. So it's a whole nother way of approaching things if you do come in contact with them, which is, I think that's really interesting. But that's one of the nice things about the paranormal field is there's always something different and there's always some way to adapt what you're dealing with. But yeah, I definitely need to do more research on them though, but interesting nonetheless.
Thankfully, there is because I agree with you that for the most part, unless they're under orders to actually go after somebody, which does happen, then yeah, this is my space, leave. If you don't, I'm gonna do bad stuff to you. Yeah. The kind of the easy solution to them is leave. If you leave them alone, they're not going to follow you. They don't care. Unless for some reason they're ordered to, in which case they would come and go anyway. They wouldn't just be at that place. They would come to do whatever it is they're told to do, and then they would leave. So the only thing that you really have to be, one, you have to properly diagnose the issue. You have to actually be like, I think this is a shadow person. And then you have to go to the client, or, if it's a haunted attraction, well, then don't worry about it because once your night is done, you leave anyway. But if it's a client, then you're going to have to tell them they either have to deal with it, in which case it's probably eventually just going to kill you, or you have to go. You have to move. And then everything will stop until the next family or couple or single person comes in and buys the house or the apartment, and then it'll just start up all over again. But, they are the case that keeps on giving. I wonder if you could call them a Christmas spirit.
I wouldn't.
But they're giving. It's the case that keeps on giving. It's like a gift.
Yeah, you could say that about COVID. It just keeps giving, but it doesn't make it Christmassy.
Well, it's not giving it to me. So
Giving it to the world.
it is. Maybe it's the Christmas virus.
That doesn't make it better.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. But it doesn't make a shadow person better either. Just because I said it's the Christmas spirit doesn't mean I'm like, I would like the past, present, and future to come and visit me at night. No. Stay the hell away from me. Just trying to be funny. Okay, anyway, next. Or is that me again? Am I up
think
again?
that might be you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scott, did you actually have anything else besides the answer? No? Par for the course. All right. Question number 2. Another holiday. I had 2 holidays. Especially since we've talked about, Becky, you brought up the Hallmark Network, and I know Lifetime plays constant ones. I mean, and then you have the Total Movie Channel, you have FX playing nonstop, all kinds of other Christmas movies. If you had a chance to form the plot outline for your own holiday movie, what would it be? It doesn't have to be a Christmas movie. It's a holiday movie.
That's a really hard question. Because, I mean, you can go so many different directions with it.
Yeah.
And now, would this be taking place with our lives? Like, we're playing the Christmas movie?
Whatever you want. It's your plot outline. If you want Becky Bicknese, The Christmas Story, a movie about a small town woman obsessed with
Where
decorations.
all her kids come home and they bake Christmas cookies and drink hot cocoa. That's my movie.
The most boringest Christmas movie I've ever heard of in my life. But
it sounds
But I
wholesome.
but it will definitely be on the Hallmark Network.
Heart giving. Gets you right in the feels.
What's the yeah, I definitely am feeling something. But what's the issue? I mean, what's the problem you have to resolve?
They didn't have matching red flannel.
It's a big first world problem right now.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sorry. You just got yourself left at 2 a.m. Okay, you're 2 a.m. on the Hallmark Network, filled with commercials.
Sorry, I'm bad writer.
I think, because you said any holiday, right?
Any holiday.
I don't think St. Patrick's Day gets enough love. So I think my movie would be something to do with St. Patrick's Day. It would not be that freaking Leprechaun movie. Did you guys see that? That
Leprechaun
horror movie about the evil
1 through
leprechaun?
5. Yep.
It was horror. I hated it. hated it. But it would be something positive about St. Patrick's Day, but I don't quite know what yet. Something with cute animals.
Brigadoon.
It was what?
Brigadoon.
What's that?
It's a musical of St. Patrick's Day, starring Sean Connery.
I already love it.
But it has a leprechaun in it too.
Is it an evil leprechaun?
No.
Okay, good.
No. But that leprechaun movie, there are 4 of them in that series.
4?
Oh, really?
I thought there were 5.
Yeah.
But okay, yep. There's
Maybe 5. I think the last one was Leprechauns in Space or something like that.
Yes, I know it is.
Oh God.
No movie franchise at all is complete without something being in space.
Has Sharknado gone into space yet? Is that where that franchise went already, or no? Does anybody know?
I don't think so. They might have, though. They might have been like Sharknado on the space station.
Yeah, probably. It's at this point. But yeah, so I'm not able to form a plot line right now, but it would be something St. Patrick's Day with small, cute animals and nice leprechauns, not evil death leprechauns.
Nothing
Scott,
with a fae in it.
nothing with a what?
With a fae in it.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe.
The little fairies that would like
Oh,
space.
no. No.
Oh.
Nothing that will give small children nightmares. That's the line I draw it at.
I don't know. I can't think of a plot. It may take me till next Christmas to come up with.
That's fair. So okay, I mean, obviously, since it was my question, I've been thinking it up in my head. So here we go. And it's interesting, Lauren, that you mentioned St. Patrick's Day because that actually plays a part in my movie too. So here's my plot for what I think is the greatest holiday movie ever, and it deals with the paranormal because I don't think cryptids get a lot of attention. So here we go. Plot outline. It's New Year's Eve. A group of angry and frustrated leprechauns, pissed off that St. Patrick's Day is not getting the respect that it deserves, has come up with a plan to hijack the Times Square ball and rig it with a big bomb. And now I'm thinking that because they're leprechauns, like maybe we would throw in there that it's not so much like boom, but like it sprinkles everyone with like bad luck dust, so that everybody.
Lucky Charms.
No, not Lucky Charms. No,
She's trying to make your movie not so dark.
It's not dark because it's about to get so much more awesome. So the only people or the only person who can solve this is a ninja Bigfoot. Okay. Who was trained by a ancient martial artist fairy. Okay. Who the leprechauns then killed because he's the only one that has like a certain maneuver that could stop them. So this Bigfoot, who is going to be called Jean-Claude Von Squatch, then goes into Times Square and using his ninja skills evades the crowd and stops the evil plot by the leprechauns by making his way up the tower or whatever, by getting into like ninja fights with all of these like leprechaun henchmen. And then he saves New Year's Eve.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Of the people that are watching this, would you watch Mike's movie if that actually went to film?
Fuck yeah.
I would say people comment, yes, no.
There's only one answer to that question. F yeah. I would. I'd watch
All I could think is when you were talking about teaching the ninja moves. Wax on, wax off.
No. That's not how fairies train Bigfoots in the art of the ninja. Okay, that's just not how it happens. But I will put in there that there is going to be at least one montage of training. So maybe Eye of the Tiger.
I have a question. So
Yes.
at the end, when Sasquatch is trying to save the Times Square ball drop,
Yes.
does he climb up the like ball drop thing, like the tower? Or are we gonna get like a King Kong with Sasquatch kind of vibe here? Or is that not the case? Because
Absolutely.
I would love to see Sasquatch instead of King Kong climbing some large pole in New York City. I think that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. In fact, just came to my head. Juices are flowing now. There is a secret sect of the military who knows all about this going on and is trying to stop Bigfoot because, plot twist, they were the ones that got the leprechauns to do this. So
there's so many things going on.
That's why it's such a great movie.
Wait, so how long is this movie going to be? Also,
at least 4.5 hours.
I was going to say, this is going to be a long movie if everything that you want to do is going to be done.
A little bit of editing, a little bit of cutting. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Be at least an hour and 45 minutes. So there's a lot more I can put in there too. Like maybe maybe after one failure, he goes, Jean-Claude Von Squatch goes and visits his friend Champ at Lake Champlain and gets, because they can talk to each other too.
You could get aliens involved in there. Because don't the aliens and Sasquatch have maybe some sort of relationship?
I honestly thought about the villains being aliens, but nobody, like I said, nobody ever gives an F about St. Patrick's Day. So leprechauns get gypped.
Lauren, why are you encouraging this? No.
I'm just trying to think.
Because it's an amazing idea, Becky.
There's a lot that can happen here. There's an absolute lot that can happen.
I'm just saying, if there is any production people, producers,
they just stole your idea and they're going to make money.
No, I approve. This is out on the airways. It's my idea. I'm just saying, if a homicidal talking turkey known as Thanksgiving can go out there and make millions of people happy every holiday season, so I haven't figured out what to call it yet. Maybe like New Year's Squatch or St. Patty New Year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But I'm saying it's going to be an amazing movie. Okay. Just blew all your minds. and we're right on target. So unless somebody has like a really quick question, because Becky, you have your second one.
It might take that's going to take more than a minute.
We're good. Keep going. What is it?
Okay. I've been working a lot with spirit guides lately. What are your thoughts? Are you born? Do you have the same spirit guides from the time you are born to the time your life here on Earth is over? Or do you think during that time period, as your life changes and evolves, that your spirit guides might change and evolve depending on what your needs are for guidance?
Yes and yes. I think you're maybe born with particular guides that stay with you for your entire life. There are others that come and go as you need them, depending on what you need to learn or what experiences you're having. And the spirit guides that you have throughout your life may call in somebody else to help you out with a particular problem or particular experience that you're having.
Do you think we have the ability to help or to call in somebody?
Yes. Yeah, I think we do. We can. I think we even, if we have a spirit guide that we're not satisfied with, we can fire them and ask for another one to replace them. So it's yeah. I think that we can choose. We can choose our spirit guides. Some of them choose us. But I think the ones that we're born with have chosen us. But some of them, I think we can have a relationship with them even before we're born in this life, um, and bring them with us into this life. I'm not sure if we carry them on from one lifetime to another when we're reincarnated, but I mean, that's a possibility too. But I think we'll probably have different ones from one lifetime into another.
Yeah, I would agree with Scott. I think that I've actually never heard like, oh, we can fire our spirit guides if we're not happy with them. That's actually really interesting. I've never thought of it that way. But yeah, I do think a lot of our spirit guides, because I believe most people have multiple. Am I correct? Yeah. So I think the main ones, or the ones that maybe we feel the strongest or hear the loudest, I think maybe they chose us. And they're the ones that stay with us throughout our lives unless something happens and we're not happy with them or there's some disconnect there. But yeah, I think the idea of spirit guides is really interesting. I do think certain ones come in at certain times in our lives and then maybe go once their lesson is taught or we realize what they're trying to tell us or teach us. But I think the main ones that are there throughout our whole lives, like they're going to be with us no matter what. You're going to help us through multiple things, multiple stages of our lives.
Yeah. I don't know a lot about spirit guides, except they can be, from what I understand, like removed and replaced. How that process happens, I have no idea. I think there are certain guides that are there throughout your entire life. I don't believe that they're there through multiple lifetimes. If you want to believe in the whole thing of multiple lives, I think, I don't know if they necessarily come and go as much as others. I don't want to say get assigned, but others come to help, and through different stages of your life, through different trials and tribulations and issues and everything that life throws at you. I think that those spirit guides become more prevalent, that they're the ones that take over at that point in time. And then once their need is no longer there, they either take a step back, move on to somebody else, and so on. I mean, there's a lot of different people who, have a grandfather or a mother or father, any sort of like direct generation that they actually knew in life, where they have passed on, and then 10, 15, 20 years later, you get some sort of reading about your spirit guides, and it happens to be one of them. I definitely think that there are spirit guides who choose you, especially if they have a personal connection. Why they choose you, no flipping idea. It's actually a good question to ask. Might have to look into that. Just how that process goes by people who would know a hell of a lot more than me about that. I get laughed at when I tell this story, but people who kind of understand the whole spirit guide process, and they're like, yeah, that's not how it works. But like many years ago, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I've talked about this before, about the former investigator who did not leave on good terms and put a curse on me, or at least tried to, and then it was removed. Well, at the same time, the person who did it started talking about my spirit guides and how one of them was an idiot and didn't know what they were doing, and this person removed them and was going to find somebody better. And I never heard another word. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how to fire people. So Scott, if you have any, if you know how to fire a spirit guide, maybe I can use that as leverage to have them communicate with me a little better. Just be like, look, you come to me in my dreams tonight or you're fired. I could do that. I wonder what would happen if you had a disgruntled spirit guide. Would they give you bad advice on purpose?
Okay, so from the teacher I've been working with, she has said spirit guides will never tell you to do bad things, to harm yourself or harm others. If you have those thoughts, that's your own internal thoughts. That's not your spirit guide.
Well, it's their fault for not pointing me in the right direction.
You do have free will.
Whatever. That's just an easy cop-out, so I can't blame people.
Correct.
Well, I would like to blame people for bad decisions. Well, I mean, like hurtful decisions, maybe I should say, not bad decisions, because those are inherently mine. So, yeah, well, Becky, what about you then? I mean, beyond the whole disgruntled.
I was going to say, I guess I currently feel like I have connected with my 2 current spirit guides. And I do believe that they have been with me my entire life. And actually, when communicating with them, my master guide has actually told me he's been with me for 4 lifetimes. So, some people will believe it, some people won't. But I do also feel like if there is a time where you need more strength in your life, if you need more of something in your life, that somebody would step in for a short period of time, help you through that situation, and then back out. But I think you are going to have a primary, secondary type guide that will be with you your entire life, is my thoughts. Or at least I hope, because I really like the 2 I have right now.
It's interesting that a lot of people talk about having 2 spirit guides. Like it always seems to be 2. And there's another group of people who always go in 2s. And that is the Sith Lords. There's always only 2, a master and apprentice. Keep that in mind for future reference.
Okay.
Do you even know what I'm talking about? Scott does.
Not a clue.
Oh, what is the matter with you? Scott knows.
My world is bubbly and happy.
It's a Star Wars reference.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Whatever.
Oh.
Again, not on the Hallmark Channel.
I don't even know why I talk to you. But okay.
I should rephrase. It's not on the Hallmark Channel, and it's not on Discovery Plus.
But it's on like everything else. So.
Well, it's on Disney.
It's even on Disney.
Because Disney owns Star Wars. That's
exactly.
the only place it is.
Nope. Don't have Disney.
Oh, you should get it.
I'm sorry that your life is so awful, Becky.
It's so worth it, Becky. It's so worth it. I spend so much time on Disney Plus. It's not even funny.
I spend way too much time on Discovery Plus. I don't have time to add in another one. No more pluses.
That's fair.
No more pluses. That's about right. All right. Well, that does it here for us tonight. Thank you for everybody for tuning in, 10 minutes later than normal. Again, nobody said yay or nay to would you watch my movie, because I think you all know the answers. Yay. Like literally, yay. But we'll be back next week with another. Hopefully, we'll be back next week with another Odyssey Hour. You never know what the viruses might hold for us. So, thank you, Becky, for joining us tonight. Yeah. And yeah. So everybody, have a great night. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And we want to see you back.